everybody, Cindy A. Lewis here. Welcome. I wanted to let you know that I have joined Raven Vintage's design team. Kathy invited me to be a part and I am thrilled. I am so excited to do some projects with her beautiful kits. If you don't follow Kathy Raven Vintage, she's on YouTube and she's on Instagram. She has a ton of followers. She's also on Facebook. Check her out. I've linked everything below, plus the other creators as well. Now I want to introduce you to the team. It's Kathy, of course, from Raven Vintage, and I printed out everybody's pictures in case you hadn't seen them before, and I will put them up at the end as well. And this is Kathy. She's an amazing artist, just so creative. And then there's Ricki at Ricki Tiki Tabby or Tavi. And then Teresa at Vintage Chic. Thanks, Teresa. And then of course myself and Kathy. So that's our team, and I hope that you'll check out their videos as well the next few months, just to see the different designs that they come up with. Now I'm going to be using the Basics Songbirds for an envelope journal, and I want to show you a little bit different take on an envelope journal using junk mail envelopes, or if you want to use envelopes from Dollar Tree, or if you just have some. I'm going to use 8 envelopes, and I'm actually going to use some Kraft card to give it a little bit of stability, because sometimes just the envelopes by themselves, if you try to put too much into them, they get a little fragile. So I thought, well, let's try to make it a little stable. So I'm going to show you that. And then I want to flip through these beautiful Songbird pages. And then I do have I possibly will use some of her basics like lined pages, which are really fun too. And so let me show you what we're going to do, and then we're going to put together the envelope journal. Now this will just be part 1 because I want to embellish it and maybe do a little bit more. So there may be a couple of parts to it, but you'll enjoy learning how to do this. So thank you, Kathy, for inviting me to be part of your design team. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. Okay, this is the Songbirds. It's a basics journal with a musical background. They're really beautiful, and I just printed them on regular copy paper today to use as the covers for my envelopes and to accent, and they're so pretty. The hummingbirds are really a favorite. They're one of the birds that I just really love. I love cardinals too. Just beautiful. And so I just wanted to flip through these real quick and show you the different designs that she has. The lovebirds, that's what I call them anyway. I love bluebirds. So these are really, really pretty. Anyway, showing you these gorgeous pages, just a flip through. Oh, that's pretty. And so I printed them all out, and then this is part of the basics lined pages. This is the graph paper. I don't know how much I'm going to use of it, so I didn't print everything. But first, we want to assemble our junk mail envelope, the base of it. And then I have a piece of Kraft card. So I measured my envelopes, and then where my envelope came was about 4 inches. So I scored at 4 here, and I scored at 4 3/8. So this is about a little less than ½ an inch spine, if you will. And then all I did, this is just Kraft card. So this is just to give my envelope journal stability. So I try to get my envelopes the same size. And since I'm using junk mail envelopes, these are return envelopes that come in the mail with bills and things like that. And so some of them have a window with a little plastic cover, what do we call that, cellophane cover. And then some of them I think do not, like they're just open, but I can cover that. And so these are pretty much the same size, which is key for them to fit inside each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one and I'm going to leave it just like this. the rest of them, I'm going to fold back the flap of the envelope. Fold it in backwards. And then we will do that with all of them. All right, so I have 7 envelopes with the flaps folded backwards, and I have 1 envelope with the flap left the same. I'm using 8 envelopes. And what you do basically is you're going to turn it, and you're going to glue the flap inside another envelope. And so that's what's key about trying to get as close to the same size as you can. And this gives you some natural pockets as well. So this side is going to glue to the back of that one, the inside back. You don't want to put too much glue, but you want to put enough for it to adhere, right? So we're going to just slide this in here. Sometimes easier to do it upside down than it is. All right. And there we go. And so then now for this one, I'm just going to turn it over and I'm going to glue on the opposite side. I know, and that seems kind of strange too, I think, to everyone. You could use like a Ubu glue stick if you wanted to, or a Ubu, whichever way you say it. And if it doesn't fit exactly, like for instance, if your envelopes are not exact, you can cut a little slip or slit to make sure that they fit okay. Okay. And what you're doing is you're leaving a natural pocket here for all your envelopes. Okay. And so we're going to just do that. I'm just going to keep rolling with it because I want you to get it. And sometimes doing it over and over helps you to get it. Sometimes if you just see it once, you're like, what did she do? And this is only 7 envelopes, so you can see it's perfect and it comes together really nice. All right, so this one, so we're gluing the inside of the flap, which we folded backwards, into the inside of the previous envelope. Now I'm doing this one a little bit different than I have done my other ones because I want to make sure that this has some stability. That's why I'm doing that Kraft card. Now you want to make sure you're lining them up as well as you can. If it's not perfect, really, it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. In junk journaling, there is a little bit of a freedom to do it however you want to make your journal. It is your world, and you're creating something special. So let's get this one in here. So make sure it's going in. Just turn it upside down. Make sure you're not gluing anything together. Okay, I'm going to fold this one. And we're going to do this last one this way. Okay. And we're just going to slide that in here. Now, if you want to do different sizes, you're going to have to work with that a little bit. I like to try to get them as close to the same size as possible. Okay. All right, so now I have my 7, right? So now I have to take this one, and I'm going to slide it in the back here. I'm going to show you, and it's going to come around this way. And this is going to glue in the back. Okay, so we're going to wrap it around. So we're going to glue it actually just the way it is. We're going to glue it into this journal. And this gives us our natural kind of spine closure. Now you don't have to make this a pocket on the back side, and we really probably shouldn't because we're going to cover it. But then that would be, this would be your envelope journal right here, if we were going to stop there. But what I wanted to do was give it a little bit of stability and create sort of a sleeve to cover it, a cover. And so what I want to do is I want to glue the front and the back together onto this spine or cover and the spine so that it stays in place and is stronger. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little bit of glue, and we're going to see how I did with my measurements. And I'm going to just glue this in place, and it should fit just inside there. Okay. And then for the spine part, I'm going to go ahead and glue here. And then I'm going to take this front part and glue this first envelope down. Let's see how I do. I've got my corner rounder here, and I'm going to see how that works. Okay, very good. And we'll just flip it over. Now this one's going to be a little bit thicker, but it worked fine. There we go. All right, so this is really going to be gorgeous. So then I just have to decide, what do I want on the front of my journal? And I can use the same paper for front and back. So do I want something like that on the front and then leave it a little less on the back? So if I take this piece, I'm going to go ahead and cut all the white off, and then we're going to create our panel. So what size does my panel need to be? It needs to be 1/4 of an inch less than the measurement. So it's measuring it right about 8 and, I don't know, 8 3/4, a little bit. And then about 4. So I'm going to cut 2 pieces out of this to cover the front and back. I've got my 2 pieces. It's a little bit shorter, so we're going to add lace to this. I'm just going to round the corners on the front right edge, and then for this one, we're going to round the corner on the back. So the left side. Okay, now also these really, I feel like need some inking. So I'm going to take Vintage Photo, and this is what I call vintageizing, but this is a distress oxide ink. It works with water and different media, and it's really cool, but it adds a real fun vintage look because of the color. You could use any color if you wanted to. You could also add like blues or whatever accents, because I could have used blue with mine and it would have looked beautiful. All right, so before I add this to the page, I want to also go around my Kraft card and just give a little bit of a depth to that. And then we are going to add some lace to it. So we're going to put it on like that. And so I'm just going to put glue on to make sure I have a good glue coverage. You could use a brush if you want to. You can use your finger as well if you feel like you need that. So we're going to just come right here. And then I haven't decided about the spine yet. I might just put a lace down it, or I may just leave it. We'll see how it all looks. So I want to make sure that I'm putting this about the same place. So pull it up just a little. Okay. I feel like this is going to give my envelope journal good stability. Okay. Then I have this beautiful lace here, and we're just going to add it to the top. And the bottom. I don't think I'm going to put it down the side, at least not yet. And sometimes I plan these out, and sometimes I just go with it and let my creative juices flow. So how many of you plan everything out, and how many of you just go with the flow of how it's coming together when you're making something? Okay. So I'm going to glue it to the spine as well. Now this glue I'm using is called Kalau glue. It's actually from Crafter's Companion. It's an alcohol-based glue that really works well for my paper crafting and my junk journal. And it doesn't soak the paper in like water-based glue does. So I really like to use it for junk journals instead of maybe an aqua glue that has a lot of water based in it. But you can use that as well. Really, there is no right or wrong. Okay, so then we're going to just glue here. I'm going to bring that around. Plus, lace is beautiful, dainty, and it covers imperfections. So if you have any, it's nice to have some lace. And then if I decide, I may put some lace down the sides here too, but we'll see. It might be just screaming for it, you know, maybe. Oh, that does look so pretty. I'm just going to have to do it, I think, but we'll wait. We'll wait. So this is part one, putting our envelope journal together with an actual cover. And then we're going to cover the pages and embellish in part 2 and 3. So I hope you'll come back. Thank you so much for joining me. Also check out Raven Vintage CA. All right, as the design team members, make sure you go check out Kathy at Raven Vintage CA. Check out Teresa at Aventique Chic and Ricki at Ricki Tikki Tavi. And of course, keep following me. What a fun project this is going to be. And if you looked at this, you would not know it was made out of junk mail envelopes without peeking on the inside. And we're going to cover that up. So come back for part 2. Have a great day, and thanks so much for watching.